Hello, today I'm going to show you how to start making a virus shawl. So to begin we need to do a slip knot. The way I do mine is I make a little loop, I put my hook through and I grab my yarn. There are various ways to do a slip knot, that's just the way that I prefer to do it. Now we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you're not familiar with the chain, it is literally just putting the yarn over and pulling it through. When you've done 10, try if you can just to make sure that that keeps straight and join this chain that's on your hook into the first one you made. This time we use a slip stitch. So we just bring the yarn over and we pull through both. And that makes a nice little circle. Now we're going to do 3 chains, so that's over, pull through, 1, 2, and one more, 3. That will represent in this pattern the first stitch, which is a treble. Now into this circle that we've made we need to put 19 trebles, so that's yarn over, right in the circle, pull the yarn up, yarn over, pull through, 2, yarn over and pull through again, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2 and again. We need to do a total of 20, but we are counting that first 3 chain row as a stitch, so obviously 19 go into the middle of this little circle. This end is what we call the pesky ends, and if you wish you can lay that alongside your work and take it in. I'll show you, just lay it alongside and just bring it in as part of your work. That is a personal preference. Some people don't bother with the pesky end at this stage, you just leave it and do them all at the end. Some people like to get them out of the way and take them along with their work. It is just however you want to do it really. Now we're going to continue, because what we need, as I say, is 20 into this circle, which looks very tiny, but we are only at the beginning, of course. I like to just stop and have a count to see where I've got to. Remember, we're counting this first row of 3 chains as 1 treble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are getting there. I'm going to stop putting in the tail now because I feel I've put that in enough. Just pull your stitches round. What was the 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 16. Seems to be getting quite a few there, so I might just stop and have a little count. Pull your work along, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. $19, 20, and there we go. That is the start of your virus shawl. Now we're going to turn our work and we're going to do the second row. We're going to start off with the 3 chains again, because that will give us our first treble, and in this project that's what it'll be. The 3 chains will represent a treble. Now we've already worked above this stitch, so we'll go straight on to the next stitch, and we're going to do trebles all the way along. You may have heard my dog in the background there, giving us a little bit of a compliment. That is because she was telling me the post van was in the street. So we carry on, and we're going to do trebles on top of trebles all the way along this second row. So the wool that I am using is Stylecraft. It's actually a double knit, and although I've said wool, it is actually a man-made acrylic yarn. We tend to use wool in a loose term really, because now there is a lot of man-made yarn. Wool obviously is still available, and it's getting more readily available with the old companies like Mariners, who are bringing it to the forefront again. So here we have the treble on the treble. So we'll just do our count here, counting the 3 chains as our first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we need to find the last 2, well, last one in effect, because I'll show you why in a minute. We put number 19 in on top of a treble, but this last treble we need to find the top of the chain that we made. This is very fiddly, so we need to go on top of the third chain, so a bit of a fiddle to get in there, and then we do our last treble on top of that chain. So there we have already 2 rows done of the virus shawl. So we're going to turn our work. We have the 2 rows of trebles. Now we're just going to vary it slightly. We're going to do 4 chains this time. So chain up 4. This will represent a treble with the 3 chains and then a chain, because this row will consist of treble, chain, treble, chain. Now we've worked into this stitch. If you give a little tug just to make sure you know that is the stitch that you've worked into, and we're going to start on the next stitch with a treble, and then we're going to do a chain, and then we're going in again, a treble and a chain, and we're going to do that all the way around. Whilst we're doing this, I just want to say on the table you will see a shawl, this one, made up already. Behind it I have another shawl of made with variegated yarn, both double knit yarns, and the variegated yarn does work up beautifully with this pattern. But you can still do this with a plain dye yarn like I'm using today, like the green one as well, and you can do various colorways when you get to the repeat. You can change the color each repeat. You could do 2 colors and do alternating rows, 1 color one way, and then change as you go on to another repeat. It is your project and you should make it as unique to you as you wish. Whatever you choose, this shawl will work up lovely, and you will be amazed how quick it will grow. Now we're continuing round, and as you can see it doesn't take long because we're at the early stages, but we're nearly there now. We need to just go in there and still keep our chain. We don't want to put a chain at the end, it's just a treble, and it's again into this little fiddly chain of 3. Just get to the top if you can and pull it through. Just push these back and show you where you are. So here we have the 2 rows of trebles. First row was into the circle, then treble on treble, and then your chain added, so you've got the little spaces developing, treble, chain. So we'll go on to the next row. This one will be a bit different because we need to make the loops. In this shawl here, you'll see we've got these loops. We need to now make these loops, and to do that we have to chain up 10. 1, 2, 3 to make the treble, and then we're going to do 7 to basically count as 7 chains, which you're going to use later in the pattern. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's easier if you don't talk and do that, but obviously I have to talk here, so just double count in there. And then what you need to do is secure this long spindly looking chain into the second space. We'll secure that with a double crochet. So that's in, pull the yarn through, put the yarn over and pull through. Now I'd like you to make some little loops. To do that, you just need to do 4 chains. Again, we miss a space and we secure these 4 chains into the second space along with the double crochet stitch. We do that again. We miss a little space and we go in to the next one. Now we're aiming for 3 little loops, so we need to do one more. So we do chain, 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 and miss a little loop and go in with a double crochet to secure your work. So you've got 1 big loop, 1, 2, 3 little loops. Now we are at the top, so we need to make 2 big loops. So this is where your 7 chain count comes in. 6, 7. Miss a little space and we secure again with a double crochet into that space there. Now I am working in UK terms, so these trebles in the US will be called double crochets. Now that's the big loop, and you've got your 3 little loops and you've got 1 big loop. This is where the fun begins. A virus shawl is basically a mirror image, so we need to copy exactly what we've just done onto the other side. So therefore we need to do another big loop, and that means another 7 chains. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're in this little space, so we need to miss a space and we need to join in the second space with a double crochet, and that will give you your 2 big loops at the top. Because we made 3 little loops, the other side we're copying and we're doing 4 chains, and we're going to miss a space and we're going to do a double crochet into the next space, and we're going again with that, missing a space and we're securing into the next space. One more time, missing a space and we're securing into the next space. Now we need to make our big loop, so this is where we go for a row of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and we're going to join with a treble, not here. We're going to get the top, 1, 2, 3, the top, and we're going to join with a treble into, again, it's very fiddly, these joining at the top of the chains, but it's just making sure you catch that. Pulling through and pulling through again. There we go. Now that is halfway to your repeat on the virus shawl. Excuse me. So there we go. So I'm going to lay this alongside, and you can see how far already we have come. We've got our loops, and we've got our little loops at the side. So I'm going to leave that video for now, and I will hopefully see you in part 2. Have fun doing this first part, and hopefully we'll catch up soon. Bye for now.